What? I thought you said this series was done. Well, I did until I realized, why does it have to be done? Hi everyone, it's me Gaming 2, and today, welcome back to 20 Questions with 20 Questions Part 21. Now, before I even get started with this, just bear with me. I'm better from the illness I have had the past week or so, but I'm not 100%. This is an illness that's going away very slowly. So I'm probably like 80% better, but I'm still a little more tired than usual and definitely clogged up. So I'm not doing all that well. But to make a long story short, I think I'm good enough to do this 20 questions part 21, as I think it's a good idea, and there's no need to end 20 questions. It's just because we reached the number 20 doesn't mean I've ran out of questions. And why don't we get into the first question with that? Number 1, why are you continuing 20 questions? Because there's no real reason to end it, honestly. Just because we reached the number 20 doesn't mean that it automatically needs to end, right? And with that, I agree with that statement because there's more than 20, I don't know how many questions, but I have more questions I can answer for you guys to get to know me a little better, and this is enough to get you to know me on more of a personal level. I'm not going to go too personal because that would be not only weird, but revealing information I am not going to reveal out in the public. But stuff like these type of questions are not too personal, so I'll let you know more about me. I like you guys to get to know me better. So that's why I do 20 questions in the first place, and I'm continuing it because there's no real reason to end it. Like I said, sorry guys, but I'm not feeling the best, but I want to get a little something out for you guys before I film again, probably Wednesday or Thursday. I'm going to take a few days off to sort of rest again, but I want to get a few things out to you guys. Number 2, what do you want for Christmas this year? Uh, a fair amount of stuff. I'm honestly really interested in trying to get the God of War game, the new one for Christmas, from my dad's place, and I also want stuff like Legos, and I want to get a new pair of earbuds because my old ones still work, but one of them is actually missing, so I want to get a new pair of earbuds for Christmas, and um, I'm also interested in getting clothes and books and even Lego sets. I think would be very cool. Um, but whatever I get, I'm very appreciative of, and I will definitely be showing it off on Christmas Day when I get it. Um, and then I don't really know what else I want. Um, what else? I thought there was something big that I wanted, but I didn't say it yet. Oh, I'm probably going to be getting a snack box like I do every year from my mom's place, and I'm going to show that off, and that's going to be awesome, but still haven't figured out the country I want, but we'll see that on Christmas Day. Sorry, guys. I hope you guys like this upcoming Christmas haul that's coming up on the 25th. That should definitely be up. And I'm very excited for Christmas this year. Even though a lot of bad stuff has happened this year, which I will go into a little bit later in the video, but I'm very excited for Christmas still. This year hasn't quite brought down my Christmas spirit completely. And it's really all I gotta say about that. I want stuff like Legos, new earbuds, clothes. I wanted a couple Blu-ray movies, and yeah, some other stuff too, but you'll see that on the 25th. Number 3, what's the best and worst month of 2022? Coincidentally, they're actually pretty close to each other. In my opinion, the best month of 2022 was April. April was a very peaceful and fun month. April probably brought me one of my top 5 Easters of my entire life. It was very awesome with very good food. April is also the month I caught my first trout, which was awesome. My grandfather has been fishing all of his life, and he says that's one of the biggest ones he's ever seen. So you can tell by that that's a pretty impressive fish. And while not the direct next month, the next month after that will be the worst month of 2022. And the worst month, probably, guaranteed. June 2022 was the worst month of my entire life. If you guys somehow didn't know, I mentioned it multiple times on the channel, but it's been a little while since I have. My grandmother passed away in June, and she and I were extremely close. We saw each other like once a week, and we'd always talk together and spend time with each other. She'd cook some of the best food you could ever ask for, especially her mac and cheese, and she was just an amazing person, and it's terrible that she's gone. I'm still affected by it. I'm better, but it still affects me to this day. Especially because her birthday is coming up very soon. I might do a little something on the channel for her birthday. My cousin made a little book for me for my birthday, which was one of her birthday presents to me, and it probably my favorite gift I got for my birthday. That thing will always have a special place in my heart. It's beautiful. I don't know if I am going to show it for personal reasons, but I might. I haven't thought it through yet. I'll have to talk to the family to see if they want me to or not. But I'd be willing to show you guys, to show you who my grandmother was and how she was a truly amazing person. So to answer the question, my favorite month of this year was April, and my least favorite month was June. June 2022 will go down as one of the worst months of my life. July didn't fare much better. It was a little bit better, but that's also the month we had my grandma's celebration of life, which was very sad, and I was still mostly pretty sad in July, so it was still very rough. But it was better. August was a fair amount better because we did a fair amount of stuff. Probably the most eventful month of the year. We went to the Franklin D. Roosevelt House up in New York. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sick. I'm trying to get through this without coughing my brains up, but bear with me. There might be a little bit of coughing in this video. August was good. I went to the fair that month. I went to the Yestercade down in Somerville, New Jersey, which was awesome. My favorite place I went that month was the FDR house. That was truly awesome. And an amazing place to visit, especially if you're interested in history. September was my birthday month, my 21st birthday month. That was very special and very cool. I liked it a lot. Went to this cool Mexican restaurant. You know what? I'll actually get more into that I'm actually going to say what I say so I don't forget. September was cool. My birthday month. I got a lot of cool gifts and had an awesome party where it was at my house and everyone came and we took cool photo shoots, which was awesome. And that's the day I got that book, and it made my family and I emotional, but it was beautiful. But September was a great month with a great birthday dinner at a Mexican restaurant where I didn't get blackout drunk, but I definitely got a little bit drunk, admittedly, on my 21st birthday. But of course I did. It's my 21st birthday. September was good. October was good too, but it was a bit boring. Not a lot happened in October in particular. November, I feel very similar to October, with the exception of Thanksgiving week. Just not very eventful. And now we're in December now, and so far, I would say I feel kind of similar to how October and November were, with the exception of having an excitement for the holiday season. So mostly this year has been kind of sad and negative. Oh, I didn't really go over January through March. I pretty much feel the same about all 3 months. It was alright, but not very eventful. But it's okay because a lot has happened this year, and I'm just appreciative that I have my family with me, and we're going through this stuff together. And 2022 has been a really tough year. Toughest year of my life, and honestly, I'd probably keep it to myself more than a lot of people, but I'm still not the best I've been. I might get more into it in a later question, but for now, I think it's time to move on to number 4. Are you going to watch any more 2022 films? I am, but there's a big catch to this. The main big catch is that I'm probably not gonna watch Avatar: The Way of Water, which is like the last really big film to come out in 2022. The thing is, it all depends on the reviews. If the reviews are like absolutely godlike and fantastic, then I'll go see it. I'm not gonna go see it in the theaters, period, probably, but I'll watch it. But if it's like, oh, all people can compliment about is the visuals, then I need a little more than visuals to watch it. So I might not watch it. I'll actually decide soon, and if I don't hear anything by December 15th, that is when I'm going to get started on my 2022 film ranking. Is December 15th to try to have it out on the 16th. Though I don't know. Guys, I got a bit of an announcement. December 15th, I'm getting a root canal, which is going to be extremely, extremely fun. This is my very first root canal, and I'm a bit nervous. But last month in November, I was having a lot of tooth problems, so I got. I went to a dentist and they told me to go see a root canal specialist, and they couldn't really get me in until middle of December. But not this coming Thursday, but the following Thursday is going to be my root canal appointment, and I don't know if I'll feel too up to it to do it, but if I can, I will do my film ranking that week. But as for other films, really, there's only 3 or 4 more films I really want to see. The most recent film I've seen that's going to be on my ranking is actually A Christmas Story Christmas, which is I think it's the 3rd Christmas Story film. It was really good. Definitely, I enjoyed it, but had a little bit of that, you know. You remember that meme, "This is them now, feel old yet?" This is kind of how that movie felt a little bit. And a lot of the movies that, oh, this is this movie, but 20 years later or something like that, it had a little bit of that feeling, but not to the degree of a lot of movies, so I enjoyed it overall. But to mainly answer the question, I am planning on seeing a few more movies from 2022, but not a heck of a lot. The ones I am planning on watching for sure are Scream from this year, Top Gun Maverick, and I also really want to see X and Smile. And then besides that, that might be about it. I kind of want to see Violent Night too, which is the new David Arbor Santa Claus violent bloody Christmas movie. That looks fun. But I probably will see it. But I don't know. You'll find out what I've seen when my list comes out later this month. Number 5. How did you decide the voices for Willow and Luna? This one was a bit of just, what do I see my dog sounding like to me? Scrappy has been joked around a lot to be this evil warlord because he growls a lot when the other dogs come around him, so I decided to give him the voice of like an evil warlord. Abby is like really derpy and stuff like that, so that's why I gave her this sort of voice, because it sounds derpy. Clover is just an old person's voice, because she's really old. And now we'll get into Willow and Luna. Willow is kind of a bit of a combination between Olivia from Hammy and Olivia and Squidward, to where she just wants to be left alone and relax all the time, and her voice is kind of like relaxed but very grumpy. And Luna is sort of like my Toad from GD Plush and SpongeBob. Luna's very energetic and fun and always wants to play well. Willow's always the dog who occasionally wants to have fun, but most of the time just wants to relax. That's sort of my inspiration for how I got the voices. Willow's more of the voice of relaxed but pretty grumpy, and Luna's the voice of very fun and friendly. So that's mainly my inspiration for the voices of Willow and Luna. Number 6. What's your favorite Christmas tradition? I would probably have to say It's the fact that every Black Friday in my family, it's a day that we go and decorate our house and our Christmas tree and watch Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer is like the staple guaranteed every year to watch. But we watch other Christmas movies too. We watched the first Christmas Story on that day, and I saw it for the first time, and it's a freaking classic. I don't know why I never watched it. And we usually have like either takeout or hors d'oeuvres that day, and that's probably my favorite Christmas tradition. Other than that, obviously opening gifts on Christmas Day is awesome, and having the family over for Christmas dinner is awesome. I love Christmas. Even if I'm 21 years old, I still love Christmas, and celebrating it is one of my favorite times of the year, and I think it always will be. I've always been very, very optimistic on Christmas time. I got a little bit distracted last year because of the release of Spider-Man No Way Home, as I was kind of more excited for that movie than Christmas. But this year, I'm going full in getting excited for Christmas. I can't wait for it. In just about 3 weeks, pretty much. It's going to be awesome. Number 7. How do you feel about Ohio losing to Michigan? It was a big kick in the balls at first. Honestly, we did pretty damn good in the first half, but then it was like a freaking mouse going up against a Siberian tiger in the second half. I don't know what the heck we did in the second half of the game, but I can tell you for a fact it wasn't good. And a lot of people want to fire Ryan Day, and I don't know if that's it or not. I really think we should give them another chance next season, but if they just fuck up again, then maybe it's time to let them go. But I'd maybe give them one more chance because the entire rest of the season we went undefeated. So I really am not too optimistic on firing Ryan Day necessarily, but of course I was disappointed. Michigan's our biggest rival, and last year we lost to them too, so you know what? I know eventually we'll get them again. Next year, I would have said yes if we won this year, but I say maybe. I'm not a sore loser like some sports fans, but I was definitely a bit disappointed when Ohio lost. They're the first college football team that I'm genuinely huge fan of, so I'm a bit disappointed, but you know what? We'll get them eventually. And hopefully next year. Because we deserve it. Yeah, frickin' Wolverines. Where are we? Number 8. What's your favorite European countries? That's a tough one. Europe has so many different countries with so many different cultures. That's why I think Europe is probably the most interesting continent. If I had to pick 3, or go like 1 by European region, I think Western Europe would probably be France. Just all the history and food there is just amazing. If I had to go Southern Europe, I'd go Italy. Italy is sort of very similar to France in its history and food, but in a very different way. For like guess you could call it Central Europe. I'd probably go. Would you consider Switzerland? Um, I'd probably put Switzerland over countries like Poland and Germany because the quality of life there is freaking outstanding. And it's got beautiful, beautiful mountains and landscapes. So I'd probably go Switzerland there. For Eastern Europe, I would probably go Romania for all the castles and interesting history with all the castles and Dracula especially. I know he wasn't real or anything, but still, seeing all the castles in that country would be amazing. Though it's very close with Turkey. Turkey is basically the Middle East in Europe, and that's what I like about it. It's got a lot of the Middle Eastern culture on the continent of Europe. But I don't think there's any really truly bad European countries. Even countries like Russia and Ukraine, which are having their problems now, but even they have their positives. Europe, for the most part, is a great continent to live on. And I have a liking for almost all the countries on the continent. So, if I had to pick my absolute favorite, though, I might have to go with Switzerland. The quality of life there is amazing, the food looks great, and the landscapes are unfreaking forgettable. So, if it wasn't for how expensive it was, I don't know. But I think it is number one, even though it is very expensive. Number 9, do you like Legos? Yes, I do like Legos. I used to collect them a lot as a child, but I stopped collecting them so much around the age of like 11 or 12. And then very recently, like I'm talking like 2020, I started collecting them again, and I put a fair amount of Lego set requests on my Christmas list, and main one I want is, remember I got the London architecture set last year? I want to get the Paris one to go aside with that. Build my own little skyline on my bookshelf. I'm planning on building a little skyline. That's going to be awesome. So I really like Legos, especially the Lego architecture sets, but I like the sets in general. Legos are just something cool to do. You can build them and take time with it, and it's something very productive to do with building something very cool without having to, like, use a freaking saw or something to build your own house. I think it's awesome. So yes, I really like Legos. And the last question before I take a break, number 10, who is your favorite actor and actress? If I had to pick oh, that's hard. I think it's even harder for actress, but actor, I think I'd ultimately pick Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks just has it all. He's done so many incredible movies like Forrest Gump, Apollo 13, Toy Story, Castaway. Oh my god, so many other movies. Philadelphia. Most of Tom Hanks's movies are incredible. And even the movie Elvis, which is one of my top 5 favorite movies of this year, he was even really good in that. But for actress, that one's a little bit harder. But ultimately, somebody who I am always impressed with her performance on screen I'd probably have to go. Hmm, that is hard. I think I'd go with Margot Robbie, though. She's always very good in her films, especially in The Wolf of Wall Street. And probably my favorite, though, is her portrayal of Sharon Tate in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That was just incredible. That's an incredible movie in general, but Margot Robbie may have given the best performance in the movie behind Leonardo DiCaprio. That movie was incredible, and she is a big part of it. She always is very good in her roles, and that's why I think Margot Robbie is my favorite actress. And yeah, I really like Tom Hanks and Margot Robbie. Some runner ups for actors, I would pick Ryan Reynolds. For actor, I would pick Leonardo DiCaprio. For actor, I would pick Samuel L. Jackson for actor, and I'd probably go. Who would I pick for like one more spot? I'd probably go. I'm sorry, guys. I had a very bad coughing fit right when I was talking about the other actors. So, for other actors, I would go with Samuel L. Jackson. I'd go with Ryan Reynolds. I'd go with Leonardo DiCaprio. And I'd probably go. That last one is tough. There's a lot of really good actors, but I really like Al Pacino with everything he's in. And then runner up for actresses, I would go with Meryl Streep, Anne Hathaway, Patricia Arquette, and probably Scarlett Johansson. So that's my answer for runner ups for who I think are my favorite actors and actresses. There's a lot of really good ones, but sometimes they don't like immediately come to my mind. So there's my answer for now. Number 11. What animation studio do you think is the worst? Oh boy. I think the peak of animation is going to be in the Walt Disney Company with Disney and Pixar. Then I would go DreamWorks. I think they got some stinkers like Shrek the Third and Turbo. But they also have some classics like the first two Shreks and How to Train Your Dragon and Kung Fu Panda and even the Madagascar films. So I can't say DreamWorks. And I have some liking for Blue Sky, honestly. I honestly like the first two Ice Age films. I'm okay with the third one, and I'm not really a big fan of the last two. And I never even saw the new Buck Wild movie, and I don't plan to. That just doesn't interest me. The Peanuts movie was really good. I really enjoy robots. Horton Hears a Who was a fun time. So honestly, I have a little tiny bit of a soft spot for Blue Sky, but outside of the first two Ice Age movies, Peanuts, Horton, and Robots, I'm not really a huge fan of the company, and only really Ice Age 1 and Peanuts I'm a huge fan of. The other ones I just like. So, for me, it's really between Sony Pictures Animation and Illumination. But ultimately, I think I would probably go with Illumination. Because at the very least, Sony Pictures Animation, as bad as the Emoji Movie is, you also got Into the freaking Spider-Verse. And you got Mitchell's versus the Machines and Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, which are all classics in my opinion. Actually, I'm not that big of a fan of Mitchell's, but definitely Cloudy and Into the Spider-Verse are incredible. While the best Illumination film, Despicable Me 1, I think it's great, but not much above great. And the rest of the films are all below good, in my opinion. I might go as far to say the second, Despicable Me, is good. But outside of that, nowadays, I don't even think the rest of them are good. Um, I like Minions more than most people do, but I wouldn't say it's good. I'd say it's above average. As it has a little bit of intelligence, but is mostly a pretty stupid movie, and I pretty much feel the same way with Rise of Gru. Secret Life of Pets I mainly liked because I was such a big dog and pet lover, but watching it, I believe I watched it in 2019. It was so boring in my opinion that I didn't even watch the sequel. I was planning on watching the sequel in 2019, but after I found how boring the first one was on rewatch, I decided, nah. And the rest of the films I haven't really seen, but I heard they're just bland and forgettable, so I'd have to say the worst animation studio is probably Illumination, but it's all your opinion, but in my opinion, I think it's Illumination. Number 12, will you ever gamble? If you mean going down to Las Vegas to waste all of my money, probably very unlikely. Actually, if I was to go down and gamble, I'd most likely go down to Atlantic City as I live in New Jersey, but even so, I don't think I'd really been. I'm not too into the concept of gambling. It's wasting your money away, so I'm really not all that keen on it. So, I don't think I would. The lottery's a little bit different because you don't waste a ton of money. While with gambling, you can waste thousands of dollars that you could have used for something important, and then you just waste it all away. With lottery ticket, you waste $2 or $3. It's not that big of a deal. So, I don't think I'd ever gamble. I just think it sounds very stupid. So, to me, I don't really think I'd gamble. Number 13, what is your next tier list going to be about? That's a tough one. I haven't really thought of it yet, but something kind of wants to make me do a SpongeBob Seasons tier list. I think that would be a very cool concept, but at the same time, there might be other ones I want to do. But to me, I don't know. You see, I'll figure that out within the next few weeks, but I don't think we're getting a tier list for at least another week or two because I don't really have the concept, but my closest concept is doing the SpongeBob Seasons tier list, but I'm not exactly sure on what my next tier list will be. 14, you feeling better from your sickness? Yes, I am feeling better from my sickness, but not 100%. I still got a bad cough, and I'm still runny in the nose, and I'm not quite as energized as I usually am. So, I would say I'm about 80% better, but, like, there's still 20% of me that's like, something is definitely off. So, I'm not 100% better, but I'm definitely saying by, like, the beginning of next week, I'd say by Tuesday or Wednesday, I'm going to be 100% better. So I probably need one or two more days to get a little bit of rest compared to usual. Not like all day, but go to bed a little bit earlier and sleep a little longer would probably be a good idea, but I'm mostly okay to do stuff now. Just need a little more rest than usual. So I am doing better, but I'm not 100% yet. Number 15, how do you feel about your channel now? Ah, it's definitely in a different way than how I used to feel about it. I still like doing YouTube videos, but not in the way I used to when I was in my teen years. Um, when I turned 20 was around the time I started to change my tone on my YouTube channel a little bit. It's more now about still being a hobby, but more about something to do than to. I still have passion for it, but it's not as much as I had when I was like. I think the peak for my passion for my YouTube channel was like 16 and 17. So around 2018 and 2019, I'd say was about the peak of my YouTube channel. And then starting around 2020, I think my channel just started to go downhill for two reasons. One is my lack of interest started to appear a little more in 2020. And the fact that I just felt like my videos weren't the same anymore. And like they were often just the same thing over and over again. In 2021, I think my videos got a little bit better. And then 2022 has been a very, very tough year. So, I probably uploaded the least since I started YouTube. Maybe outside of 2016. Because it's been a really tough year, so if I was to sum it up overall, I still like it. And I'm still going to continue doing it, but pretty soon I might not be doing it consistently because I don't even really think it's my number one interest anymore. As hard as that is to admit, it's just sort of a thing that people grow up and get interested in other things and stuff like that. But I'll always have a place for YouTube, and if I ever come up with an idea that I want to show on my YouTube channel, I will definitely do that. But don't worry, I love each and every one of my subscribers, but to me, my YouTube channel is just not the same thing as it used to be in 2018 and 19, to say. Because a lot of things have changed since then, and it's made me change a little bit as a person, and that's okay. Not like I don't like my channel. I like my channel. Hell, I love my channel, but not as much as I used to. So, I'm thinking next year might be a year where I don't upload as much as I used to, but I'll still be on there to upload. There should be an update video. It might not happen immediately as soon as the year starts, but I'm thinking maybe around February or March is going to be around the time that I start. Probably when I release the final GD Plush movie, the final movie remake, and that big Loud House video that I'm planning. After those release, I might be taking a pretty big break from YouTube, period, because I need it. I feel like I've been doing this for 6 years now, and I I've taken a break before, but not a really big break, and I feel like I might need a really big break from the channel eventually. So it depends, but overall, I love my channel, but I might be taking a bit of a break from it within the next few months. 16. What does 2023 look like on Gaming Deal? I answered that a little bit in the previous question, but it might be on a little bit of a hiatus in 2023 in parts of it. Because, I want to be super interested and super wanting to do YouTube videos again, but because I have a bit of YouTube fatigue that I've had since like last year, I got a feeling the best way to get rid of that fatigue is to take a break. And after I do the Big Loud Outs video and the final movie remake, I think I'm going to take a break from the channel for a little while. I'm not talking forever, I'm talking maybe 2 or 3 months tops. But enough time to where I can refresh myself and come up with good ideas and good new things to do on the channel. That way we can start over new and my videos can be as entertaining as they were in 2018 and 2019. I feel like that's what needs to happen. So, as for specific videos I plan for 2023, the usual videos that come out, like my birthday hauls and my Christmas hauls, they'll be coming out and stuff like that. And any scheduled video of a year will come out, but other than that, I think there'll be points in certain months where I'll upload more than others, but if you see me gone for more than a month at certain points, it's not a big deal. I'm not gone forever, I'm just taking a bit of a break. But I'll be back. Will I ever quit forever? Maybe? But it's not happening anytime soon from what I see. It's probably going to be a few more years before I quit forever. But I don't know. For now, I just think I need to take a break pretty soon. Not right now, but pretty soon I'm going to take a break from YouTube just to refresh myself and refresh my ideas for my channel. Number 17, what's your favorite Christmas song? This one I thought long and hard about, but the song I always love to listen to every single Christmas that just really gets me into the holiday spirit is, weirdly enough, Happy Christmas, The War Is Over by John Lennon. That song to me just makes me think Christmas time is officially here, and I love listening to that song. It seems like a very happy Christmas song, and a song that just tries to cheer everybody up. And then I love all the classics, like Frosty the Snowman, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Santa Claus is Coming to Town, Jingle Bells. Just any Christmas song is awesome, but The War Is Over by John Lennon is probably my favorite Christmas song of all time. Number 18, 2020 versus 2022. Both of these years weren't great, honestly. I would say the best year of the decade for me personally is going to be 2021. Sorry guys. That was my nose. My nose is clogged up right now and I needed to let some air out, so sorry about that. 2021 is my favorite year of the decade so far. Something bad happened midway through the year, but in a way, I kind of now see it as a good thing. It happened in August of 2021, but now I really don't really even think about it that much anymore. But it still was something that really hurt me then, but now I really don't think about it all that much anymore, period. Um, I'll tell you what it is. I lost a friend in August 2021. Not to death or anything, but we stopped being friends in August of 2021, and it really hurt me at first, but now I started to realize that maybe it wasn't all that great of a friendship in the first place, and I don't wish anything bad upon it, but I'm really just not really caring about it anymore. I don't really think about it anymore. I do on occasion, but I've mostly like completely moved on from it. So I other than that, 2021 was a pretty good year. It had its moments that were kind of boring, but I will always think back to my Cape May trip that year and my trip to Seaside Heights and the amazing Christmas I had that year, which really bring it to be probably 2021 was a pretty good year. 2020, I think, sucked mainly due to the world shutting down because of the coronavirus. Um, you couldn't really go anywhere, period, until like the fall. And it took over a year to get rid of the masks, which were necessary, but not really something I liked, but I felt it was necessary at the time. You don't want to get a major disease. But, I don't know, for like a solid year there, maybe even a year and 3 months or so, the world just didn't feel the same. And that was mainly the big thing of 2020. Other than that, I kind of felt like life was business as usual, except this huge big pandemic was happening that affected the lives of many, and well, it was the most different year of my entire life. But I would take it over freaking 2022. By God. This year has had its good moments, such as my 21st birthday and my trips in August and stuff like that, but good God. My grandmother passing away is the biggest toll you could possibly imagine on a negative aspect. It's a family matter passing away, so obviously it was going to affect me in a major way, and it did. It was the worst thing to ever happen to me and my family, and it was just... I don't even like talking about it, but it's the big thing to make this year the worst year of the decade so far, and will probably go down as the worst year of the decade. This year was not very good. Also, there's been a lot of stressful moments this year that has just made this year make me really excited for New Year's. Let's just put it like that. As for if 2023 will be better, I think so, but I don't know if we'll ever get back to the days of like my feelings in 2019 and 2018, so I don't know, but for me personally, I would definitely pick 2020 over 2022. 2022 in my personal life has just not been very good at all, especially with my grandma dying. Number 19, how do you handle constructive criticism? This is an answer I've wanted to answer for a while, but I would say rather well. That's really not up to me though, but if somebody has a problem with one of my videos, I generally try to improve it. For example, in my SpongeBob movie gameplay a few months ago, somebody commented that I should replace my microphone, and I'm like 100% agree. That's freaking awful. But I really wanted to get something out to you guys in gameplay wise, so I guess that's why I substituted good audio so I could get it out on time. But I really should have thought, you need to hear my voice, right? So, yeah. So that's why I haven't done any gaming videos recently. Once I get a new mic, I'm thinking of doing gaming videos again, but that might not be for a few more months at least. And I take that, and then another person commented that they really want me to change my Bowser voice, which is constructive criticism, but I find it a different kind of constructive criticism, because to me it's more narrative constructive criticism than quality constructive criticism. And it's really, what I see it as is more of it's what they'd like to see, which is cool. But it is my show ultimately, and to me, Bowser is epic and scary and crazy and a threat, but in the GD Plus universe, I wanted to make him a little bit different, to kind of make a gentle giant-like character. Because in this series, Bowser wouldn't hurt a fly, and if he saw a fly, he'd probably run away and cry from it. So, yeah, somebody posted that they really want me to change my Bowser voice, which I appreciate the criticism, but I don't think that's going to happen. So I'm sorry, but I really don't think it's probably not going to happen. But, other than that, I think I take constructive criticism very well. If somebody says I should improve on something, I try to, definitely. But it's really not up to me. It's up to other people. So, I don't know. I think I take constructive criticism well, but I don't know. Number 20, last question for today. Are you still doing the Loud House ranking? Not exactly. Guys, this Loud House ranking is going to be a monster. A monster that I don't even know if I'm going to be capable of doing. There's almost 500 episode segments for the show, and I don't know if I have the room to do it, or if not that, I don't know if I have the time to do it. It's just going to be so big that I don't even know if I'll have time to do it at all. To the point where it might be like mid next year before it comes out. Because it's probably going to be like a 4 or 5 hour video. So instead, what I'm going to do is something else that I'm going to leave as a surprise. But all I'll say is my hint is it's coming It's coming out in the middle of January of next year. So it's coming out next month, middle of the month. All I'll say is it is something big that's going to end my time with the Loud House, because I'm just about done with the show. But it's sort of going... I'm not even going to give any more hints. All I'll say is it's going to be a big video, and I don't think anybody's done this video for the Loud House. They've done it for other shows, but not the Loud House. So, I think I'm going to do that, and that's going to be my big final video for the Loud House. Because I'm just about ready to jump ship from the show. The show is not the same anymore, and even if it was, I'm kind of bored of it. So, That video will be coming out midway next month. The ranking is kind of canceled because it's just not something I think I can do right now. And that's about it, guys. I hope you guys like this video. Part 22 might not be coming out next month. I might not be doing these monthly anymore. Instead, I might be doing them every 2 or 3 months because it is a bit hard to come up with questions once a month, but every 2 or 3 months is a little bit easier. So, yeah, with that being said, I hope you guys like this video, and that's about it. Gaming Do here. See you later. Bye.